Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 3:05 a.m. My plan tonight was actually to get my vlog done early. That didn't happen because, well, that didn't happen is why. The night just kept on going on, and then I was laying in bed with the dogs and Alex, and he was watching, I don't know what the show is called that he's watching. It's something on Netflix. He told me twice, and now I can't remember. And it was something that was like supernatural. He said it's really messed up. Maybe it's called, did he say it was called Chaos? Or maybe he told me it was Chaotic? I can't remember. But he was watching that, so he was laying in bed. Here's my lip gloss. And I fell asleep. And I didn't plan to sleep at all tonight. I was gonna come out here and make my vlog. But I was so comfortable with Alex and the dogs that I fell asleep at like 11:30, I think it was like 11, and I slept until 2 o'clock. And it was nice, it was really nice. But I'm gonna start trying to go to bed earlier. I'm gonna try to slowly start getting, I mean, I stay up late anyway, even before all this. But I'm gonna slowly start to try to get my schedule back on normal a little bit, back to normal a little bit. So tonight might be a little bit of a shorter vlog. I have no idea, we'll just have to wait and see. If I get talking about something, I'll stay on a little bit longer. But I would like to get into bed. I don't want to stay up as late as I usually do tonight. Alex found out today that he is going back to work tomorrow. So starting tomorrow, he will be going into work at 9, which is completely different than what we're used to, because he is used to sleeping in till 11 or 12, first of all, and then just kind of relaxing around the house all day long. So for him, it's going to be a total culture shock. And he's been working from home, but he hasn't had as much stuff to do like if he was at work, you know. And then it'll be weird for me because he's going to be gone, and I definitely think it's going to be weird for the dogs because they follow him around literally all day long. And so yeah, that starts tomorrow. He's actually excited about going back to work and getting out of the house for a while. I got kind of really sad about it this evening. We were standing in the kitchen and we were just kind of talking, and I was making a sandwich. And I said, I'm gonna really miss you. And he was like, really? And I said, yeah. I said, like, it's been really nice to have you at home. And he was like, yeah, it's been really nice to be at home. And so we were just kind of talking about that and how it's gonna be weird. And I almost like started crying, and I didn't start crying, but I was kind of like, this is so sad. Like, you know, we had all this time together at home, and you know, I'm somebody that always looks at stuff that way, like, you know, like if we go on a trip or the Christmas break or whatever, you know, or holiday break, you know, I always look at it like, oh, there's all these things I want to do, and then it's like, oh, Christmas is over and we didn't do this and we didn't do that and we didn't do this, right? Or you know, like on a trip, it'll always be like day one, I'm like, oh my god, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then it's like the last day and I'm like, oh my god, all the things we didn't do. And I try not to get upset about that kind of stuff anymore because it's ridiculous, first of all, but second of all, it's like you're never going to fully meet all of your expectations for something, you know. But it was like, I bought that Yahtzee game and we didn't even play a game of Yahtzee, and you know, and Alex is like, babe, we're still gonna have the weekends and it's not like I'm gonna be going anywhere. So which is true, but, and you know, the evenings as well. He's not working like all day. Like, he won't be working late into the evenings like he has in the past, at least not for right now. So yeah, so he goes back to work tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to start tomorrow and Wednesday getting up earlier. I've got to get back on some kind of regular schedule. I mean, the other thing is I can't be like getting up when he's coming home from work, and then wanting to get all my videos done when he's wanting to relax. Like, that's not fair to him, you know? So, So I'm gonna plan on getting up a little bit earlier tomorrow, fingers crossed. And then, yeah, today, well, last night I stayed up late, of course, because I kind of I knew that he was gonna find out today that he had to go back to work. We thought that anyway. So, my hand is really hurting me. I woke up and my hand was literally knotted like this, and it hurt all through here. I'm gonna have to get that thing. My dad was telling me there's something that I can get. He goes, you can just go to CVS and pick it up. But it's like a splint or something that when you sleep, it makes your hand stretch out. And that's what he told me to get. He told me exactly what it looks like. So, because my hand is hurting so bad. But anyway, what did I do last night? I played Words with Friends and listened to my audiobook. I'm listening to The House of Impossible Beauties. I really, really like it. But I will say this, if you're gonna read it because you watched Pose or Paris is Burning, it's really more about the background stories of the people. It's not about the ball scene, really, whatsoever. So it's really about them forming a house and what that's like, which is really interesting because it goes into intricate detail about life in New York City in the mid to late 80s. I think right now it's 86 or 87. And it's really interesting. So I did that. And then I watched a little bit more of Overkill with Jean Smart, which is the Eileen Wuornos made-for-TV movie that we're watching this month. It's really, it's not bad. It's just hard to watch because the quality of the video is so bad. It's hard to watch for a long period of time. So I watched 10 or 15 minutes of it, but I really wanted to watch Schitt's Creek. So I only watched 15 more minutes of it. I still have some left. I don't know how much I have left. I think I have, because I think I looked right when I stopped. I think I have 20 minutes of it left. It's at the point now when she's in the last bar. And this is right, I know that this is right before they arrest her because I just read the book, so I know that, and I knew that anyway. And these two undercover agents are following her, and she's dancing, and there's a scene when I just keep on saying Jean Simmons, Jean Smart, who plays Eileen Wuornos, she starts doing all this spinning and spinning and spinning on the dance floor. It's kind of funny. It's not a horrible movie. I mean, it really isn't. But it's just so completely different than everything I've ever watched about Eileen Wuornos. I did look on Amazon today, and the documentaries are, at least on our Amazon, they're not available. But the movie Monster is, with Charlize Theron. But the documentaries are kind of what you have to see. They're what really make it such gold. But you can watch them on Apple TV for $3.99. I think you can get them on iTunes too for $3.99. I didn't look, but let me look in the iTunes store really quick. The documentaries are so fantastic. Books. Okay, movies. Life and Death of a Serial Killer. You can rent it on iTunes for $3.99. You can buy it for $15.99. And Eileen Wuornos, The Selling of a Serial Killer, you can rent for $3.99. And they're totally worth it. Trust me, they're worth every penny. Did you guys know there's so many... wait a second. Oh, here it has all the books. Oh, there's... what? Dear Dawn is not on Audible. I was gonna say it's not on Audible. So my book today came. My, and then this will be all I talk about with books. My Dear Dawn book came. I was so excited. And I put it up on my Instagram story. It's 600 pages. It's a thick book. And, I started it. I just started reading the like foreword or the introduction, which I believe is a letter from the author to Eileen Wuornos. It's like, Dear Lee. It's really, really interesting. Well, first of all, the person says in the letter that, I don't know if it's written by a he or a she. I think it's written by a she. She got all the letters from Dawn and Eileen, okay, but that was known before the book was going to be put out, because it says that in there. And then got all the letters from Lee and Tyria, okay, which is interesting. And other letters as well, and tried to get letters from her mother, but her mother, Diane, Eileen Wuornos' mother, wouldn't give her any letters, and wouldn't come and visit her. She said she just couldn't. She was afraid of how, like, Eileen would act towards her or something. Because Eileen Wuornos and her mother gave Eileen and her brother up when she was real young, and she went and lived with their grandparents, who then, like, when their grandmother died, they came and lived with their mother again. But she's in one of the documentaries. Like, they interview her, and you can just tell she's kind of like she's had a hard life. So anyway, I'm reading the book. In the beginning of the book, it describes Eileen Wuornos. Like, this is obviously somebody that is a huge fan of Eileen Wuornos that wrote this book, because they're describing Eileen Wuornos as like a feminist Jesse James, or a feminist rebel without a cause. Oh, okay, that's where all the other letters came too, that like a lot of people like wrote her in prison, and so they offered to like send their letters to her because they knew that she was putting this book together. Anyway, this letter at the beginning of the book kind of sets the tone. I was like, this is really, like, this isn't about, like, I mean, it really kind of sings the praises of Eileen Wuornos. I mean, even says in there, like, you were willing to do, it makes her like as kind of like the savior of prostitutes a little bit. It talks a lot about that in there, that men that took advantage of prostitutes. It references the Green River Killer, and then it goes in there. It's very interesting to like lead with this letter. I was like, this is kind of strange, because this is obviously going to affect the tone of somebody reading this book, but I haven't finished the whole letter yet, so we'll see what happens with that. And yeah. And so I watched that, and then I watched 2 episodes of Schitt's Creek, and then I went to bed. And I'm like on episode 6, I think, of the final season of Schitt's Creek. It's really, really good. I can't believe they stopped it. Like, I just can't believe that they canceled the show. I mean, I understand stopping something when it's like going well. Like, I get that kind of attitude, but like, there's such this phenomenon around Schitt's Creek at this point. I wonder if they could, like, be, well, I think everybody's kind of just done with the show, but I was like, I wonder if they could be convinced to, like, bring the show back, because the show is so fantastic. Well, I don't know what happens yet. They could all, like, leave the town, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, yeah, and then today I got up, and I made my coffee, and Alex was making some of his rice and beans and avocado stuff, and I got the vlog up. And what did I do after that? I talked to one of my friends. She and I were just talking about recovery stuff. And then I talked to Tanya, and I called my cousin Caroline, but she didn't answer. I feel like I talked to somebody else, or I did something else. I don't remember. So anyway, yeah, that, and then, I asked, Alex had been wanting to do this Q&A. So he was like, I had said to him yesterday, I said, if we don't do the Q&A tomorrow, like, when you go back to work, it's gonna be, like, you know, hard to get it done. He's like, yeah, we can do it tomorrow. So today, I was like, after I kind of got settled, I was like, well, let me take a shower, because I look a mess, and then we can film the video. And he was like, okay. So I took a shower, and then we filmed the video, and then he wanted to watch the show, so he was like, I'm gonna go upstairs. And I said, okay, I'm gonna film. Oh, I had my my literature reading tonight from my recovery literature meeting. It's not really a meeting, it's just like I think it's 8 of us. 8 of us get together and read on Zoom, and then we talk about what we read. And so he went upstairs, and then I went outside and I did a review video, and I wanted to do a booktube video and a Peterisms video, but it got too late at that point. It was like 7:45, and I was still trying to get everything uploaded, and I didn't even upload that stuff until after the literature meeting because I had to be on Zoom, and so I had to pay attention to that because we like read like 3 paragraphs and then we pass it to somebody else until we've read the whole chapter, and then we go back and we each discuss it. So yeah, that was that. And then I got done with my vlog, or I got done with my literature study, and then we got done late. We got done almost at 9:30. And so I finished uploading everything, got all that stuff done by 10, so my videos were uploaded by 10, which was really, really late to upload the videos. I almost thought about uploading them tomorrow, but I was like, oh well, I can just film something else, so I'll put those up. So I put those up, and then I made a Diet Coke, talked to my friend on the phone for a little while, tried to get a hold of Tanya. Called me, and then I called her back, and she didn't answer. And then I was talking to my friend, and then she called me back, and then I tried to get a hold of her again, and we just kept on missing each other. So then I laid down in bed with Alex, and that's when I fell asleep. I was so comfortable. I was so cozy in bed tonight with Alex and the dogs. So yeah, that was my real exciting day. And it's weird, like our neighborhood, like I don't get up until later, but it doesn't really get alive until like later. Like the hours are definitely, I would say, between like 5:30 and 7:30 that people are like real active in our neighborhood and like walking around and stuff like that. But today it was a little bit cooler. I already looked at the weather, but the weather changes every day, so I'm gonna look and see what tomorrow is supposed to be. I actually put some Creed on earlier, and it smells so good. I'm kind of ready to like, I'm not ready to like go back to doing like going places and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily. I don't know. We'll have to see how I feel when things are lifted. I'd ordered a bunch of masks. So I ordered different kinds of masks, and because we had some at home, and then I had also been using this. Well, I think I have both masks in here. I have like one of those. Here are my Lysol wipes when I go places, but I have this scarf that I use at the very beginning before, but then I found I had a mask. Where is it? It's right over there because I always have to get it when I get out. It's like this white mask with a little thing on front. I had it in the garage. So I got a bunch of masks. They came today. And then I ordered 5 black cotton masks too that you can wash. The other ones are disposable. And they haven't come yet. When I actually ordered like 5 of these heavy duty ones, and I ordered them like a month ago, and they still haven't come yet. So they say they're on their way, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're ever coming, or if I got screwed. I don't know. Like I ordered them when all of this began, and it was over a month ago. Well, I can actually tell you exactly when it was. Well, that's not the name of the business. By the way, we were supposed to stay at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. They canceled our reservation today, which made it a lot easier for me. I don't have to go in there and cancel that now. I just have to cancel our flights. Thank God. Let's see. Sperry, John Legend's new favorite shoe. They're just like plain Sperry's, who cares? Where is it? Shoot, where is this thing? Oh my god. It was like last week. It said like track your, it was maybe long, it was longer than that actually. It was like track your order. Oh, this is ridiculous. Where is it? I can't believe I can't find this. I'm back like 423. Oh, this is ridiculous. Come on. Was it really this long ago? I'm back to like the 17th. 16th. I know it wasn't this long ago. Did I delete the email? I don't even know what the company is called. What is going on? I can't find this email. Anyway, I ordered these face masks and they never came. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Hold on a second. Do you guys ever look for something and you're like, I know it's here? Like, I remember the email because it was all capital letters, which like most people don't do that, you know? And I remember because I tried to track it and it wouldn't track. I get the stupidest emails. Here I am again. I'm at 425, 426, and it still isn't here. Was it really that long ago? Didn't I just say that? I feel like I do this at least like once a week, where I'm trying to like look for an email and I literally cannot find it, and I go through here and I go through here and I go through here and I go through here, and I'm like, I know the email is in there. Oh my Lord. I'm at 420 now. Did it really go back this far? I cannot believe this. Maybe it did. Let's keep on going. And see, maybe I deleted it, but I don't think I did. 413. This is ridiculous. Especially if I go back this far and it says it's been sent and I still haven't received it, then I'm going to be real over it. But I don't even remember what the company was called now. So I'm at 4.7. I'm keep on going because I want to see if I can find it. Nothing. Well, I hope I don't have to prove that I bought them. 324. 322. They're not in here. Oh no. I was like, maybe. Let's look in here and see. No. Nope. What is going on? I can't. Oh, here they are. Oh, here it is. 419. A shipment from order is on the way. On the 19th. On the 19th, and what is today? It's gonna be the 5th. That is ridiculous. And when I go to track your order, it like standard shipping, 7 to 12 business days. And when did it say? This was on the 19th. So, how many days has that been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's been 12 days. 14, 15, 16, 17. There's no reason why I shouldn't have received it now. I'm sending an email. I hate autocorrect. I'm like, I placed an order over a month ago and also received an email stating it was on its way. That was over 15 days ago, and standard shipping is 7 to 12 business day. What's up? That's what I'm saying. That's what's up. Anyway. Oh my God, we're almost at the end of a half an hour already. Well, you guys got to be with me while I did all that. I do miss like driving around, so like, because I kind of get distracted in like telling stories and stuff like this, you know? Like I just start talking and then I get distracted telling stories, but when I'm sitting here, like I'm so much more relaxed that I think, like, I don't think that way as much, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think just to tell random stories and stuff, it's gonna stop. Hold on. Okay. And I guess, like, you know, when I'm driving also, I don't really think, like, specifically think about these random stories, you know? So then I kind of, like, search through my head and I'm, like, trying to tell stories, but I also at the same time want it to be kind of, like, natural. So I'm like, how do I just come up with, like, kind of, like, natural stories to tell? Just, you know, anything random. Plus, if I said to you, like, tell me a story from your childhood, especially one that you haven't said in 4 years of vlogging, like, it's hard too, you know? I was actually thinking, this is kind of how things get started for me, so I'll just start talking about something, then it leads into something else, so we'll see where this goes. I was actually sitting here thinking, because I'm sitting right in front of the garage door, as I am every night, like, looking at it, and, you know, when I was growing up, I was, like, an avid tennis player, and I can remember, it kind of surprises me that my mom was okay with it, that I would just spend hours and hours and hours hitting the tennis ball against the garage door. Like, I just remember doing that forever. In the summer. We used to always have, like, one of those metal nets. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That you see, like, on tennis courts? We just always had it filled with tennis balls because my mom played tennis and I played tennis. And so when we would go and practice, like, if we were gonna go just to, like, you know, neighborhood courts or high school courts or whatever, like, my mom and I played a lot when I was a little kid, and we would, like, get up. My mom was a really good tennis player. My whole family is tennis people, and my mom and I would get up, like, this was, like, in the summers when I didn't have practices, and I used to have these big jugs of water. Like, we would carry them everywhere. If you, like, well, this is what we did. I'm sure today they do bottles of water and stuff like that, but back in the day, we used to have these big jugs, and because we would do, like, you know, conditioning, and, well, I hated conditioning. I always try to show up late for conditioning, but, like, I would have tennis from some ridiculous hour in the morning, from, like, 7 until, like, 12 or something. It was, like, the whole morning, and then we had the afternoon off, but it was 5 days a week. And all of us kids, what you would do is you would fill your water jug up with ice and then just keep on filling it with water all day long. So it was, like, actually, like, one of those igloo things, you know, that had, like, the thing you'd pull up and you'd sip out of it. And we would do those, like, we would carry those with, like, everybody had those, and then you just, like, put them on the side of the court, like, where, like, the end of the net, you just put them, like, right there with your stuff. And my mom and I, like, on weekends and whatever, or, like, when tennis camps were over, because tennis camps didn't go the whole summer, I can't remember, I think they went through, like, the middle of July, we would go play a lot. Who's texting me? Valerini. She's like, hello. You get a shout out in the vlog, Valerini. I'm like, hello, vlogging. So I can remember too, like, back then, this is so weird because I can kind of remember, like, tennis was, like, this really, like, official sport. Like, we had to, like, when I was younger, like, for our tennis camps, we had to wear, I think the color was mostly white that we wore, but I can remember getting these shorts, these, like tennis shorts that came, like, mid-calf, and they had to have pockets in them for tennis balls, and so they had little pockets in them, and then, but they were, like cotton cut tennis shorts, and I can remember they would, like, the different brands were, like, the different tennis brands and stuff. And then we used to go to this place called Dick Reardon's Sport, and it was off of Illinois in Indianapolis, and it was a tennis pro shop, and you would go in there, and that's where you got your tennis racket. I mean, everybody went there. And that's where you got your tennis rackets, and that's where you got your tennis clothes and stuff like that. But then, like, I would have little shirts too that were like the Prince shirts and like the Prince match, like white shorts and stuff. And I probably had 5 shorts and 5 shirts, you know, that you would like wash interchangeably, and they were cotton and kind of like, you know, thin, but like often, like for tennis matches, we had to like tuck in our shirts. Like that was like a big deal. And you had to wear socks with your shoes. Like you couldn't wear like no socks with your shoes. And you had to have like certain kind of like white shoes and all this kind of stuff. And then I think it was with like Yvonne Lindell, like changed all that. And like you could untuck your shirt. This was like a big deal. I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was like a big deal at like Wimbledon. And like I think it was Yvonne Lindell that came along, and it was, and then all of them started like untucking their, because you couldn't untuck your shirt, I think, until then. Or maybe you could. I don't know. Let me look up a picture of like John McEnroe playing. Because he would have been before that. John McEnroe. Images. Well, this is him older, and his shirt's untucked. But like, damn it. Okay, I think this is him at Wimbledon, and his shirt is tucked in, and he's got the shorts on that I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys can see this, but these were the shorts that we all wore. And they like had the thing that buttoned across. Do you see? He has his shirt tucked in. Does he in all these pictures though? Yeah, he has his shirt tucked in until he was older. Like that was like such a big deal. I remember. Like, they didn't like that. Okay, Bjorn Borg. Let's see him. Oh my god, my mom had such a crush on him back in the day. What does he look like today? I don't know what that was, so it took me to. He doesn't always... Wait. Oh, this is his son. God, he was good looking, wasn't he? Yeah, he has like a Fila shirt on, and it's tucked in. Yeah, he always had his shirts tucked in. God, he was good looking, wasn't he? Hubba. What does he have on in this picture? It's like an identity bracelet or something. He does. He has like a striped shirt on and plaid shorts. He was so good looking back in the day. Do you guys remember him? Okay. And then I think it was Yvonne Lindell that didn't tuck in his shirt, and that was like where it all changed. Ooh. How old is he now, my lord? Yeah, he has his shirt untucked. I think it was him. Oh, here he's got his shirt tucked in. Who changed style in tennis? Now I'm kind of intrigued to know. But anyway, that was like a big deal for us. Like how we had to, like, especially like for games and stuff. It was like, the 11 Grand Slam singles titles, Bjorg ranks 4th in the all-time, behind only Pete Sampras, Roy Emerson, and Roger Federer. He brought a playing style to the game and served as... Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. How has tennis evolved? I should read some of these. It's interesting. But anyway, so yeah, like back in the day, I would, you know, play. My mom and I would get up, and then we would like pack our like igloo things because she did it, or igloo things because she did it too. She played tennis in the summer a lot outside too, and she actually, my mom played on clay courts a lot, and like how Wimbledon is, and no, clay court, or Wimbledon is grass courts. She played on clay courts. Like we used to have the clay courts here downtown, or in Indianapolis, and they moved them to the RCA tennis championships downtown. But first they were clay courts. And if you ever played on clay, like clay is, I used to play on clay a lot. Clay is really, really slow. Like when the ball hits, it like moves up slower, so they're harder to play on. Like you literally, you run your butt off playing on clay courts. And my mom and I would get up, I can remember in the summers real early, and we would go play all over Indianapolis. She knew where every free courts were for Indianapolis. And I think sometimes we would like, I can remember sometimes we would sit like just on the hillside and like, you know, wait for certain, like Butler campus, we used to play there a lot. The Butler Tarkington area, Arden is what that area is called of Indianapolis. We used to wait over there on like this little hilltop for people to get done playing tennis, and then we would go. And so much fun. I remember that back in the day. I kind of miss doing that. But for hours, I would just hit against the garage door for hours and hours and hours. I was also thinking about this, and I still have my rollerblades down in my basement. I'm sure it's hard to believe, right? But I used to come over to my mom's house a lot. My old roommate and I, the one that lives in Germany, she and I got rollerblades, and we started rollerblading like all over the place. We loved it. And we would come over here and we would rollerblade in the summer, and then she and I and my mom would go swimming late at night. And it was so much fun. And then I remember we would come back here and we would like, the three of us would like, you know, just sit around and talk and, you know, or watch a movie or something like that. It was really fun. Those were the good old days. I'm wondering how they're gonna do pools in Indianapolis, you know, because they're talking about like opening pools later or something like that. Although I talked to Tanya the other day, and she said I think that they're still gonna open the pools on Memorial Day weekend. So if they do that, I mean, I don't really ever, unless I'm out of town anyway, I don't really ever go to any other pools. So, like, the only pool I ever really go to is this one here. And the last couple summers, it's raining again. The last couple summers, I haven't gone, like, during the day and laid out a whole lot, you know? I mean, not that I wouldn't, but, you hear that rain starting? It's nice, isn't it? So, I wonder how they're gonna do that. It'll be interesting to see. I miss those days of summer, you know, where summer was about tennis practice. I would get up so early. I feel like I spent the whole, I took naps back then though too. Like, I've always been a napper, but I took naps in the afternoon sometimes, not always, because my friends and I would hang out in the neighborhood, and we were kind of just, you know, forever. But I remember my mom and I would go to the library a lot in the summer. My mom was somebody that utilized the library till the very end of her life. She loved the library. I don't think my mother probably ever had an overdue book in her entire life. Like, she was obsessed with the library. And she actually worked at Northwestern Library in Evanston, Illinois, when my dad was doing his medical residency up there. She worked at Northwestern Library before and while she, like, before I was born, while she was pregnant with me, and before that, so in the late 60s. And my mom loved the library. She could spend like hours at the library. So we would go to the library at least like once a week in the summer, and she would say, you can get whatever you want to get, and I would always get some huge pile of books, right? And she'd say, are you going to really read all of those? She would never say, I don't think, like, you're not going to, although I don't remember, but she'd say, are you really going to read all those? I'd say, I swear, Mom, I'm going to read them all. I wouldn't, you know. But anyway, so But I was always reading like a little bit more advanced than I was growing up. So I was reading like actual books when, you know, I was younger and like whatever. So I can remember I would get like 4 or 5 books and then a week. So like in the evenings, like in the summers, what I would do is I would have tennis, and then I would come home and my mom and I would eat some kind of lunch, or like one of my friends would come over and like get me and I would go to their house for lunch or something like right away. And then if we didn't stop somewhere, my mom and I, if like she didn't have errands to run or something on the way, but like, you know, she had all morning because she would take me to tennis. And my tennis camps were at North Central High School, which is like, I drive by it when I vlog. It's like 5 minutes from here. And we lived about 25 minutes from there, north. So she would be like, just, you know, she could run errands and stuff while I was at tennis practice. And a lot of times she would play tennis while I had tennis practice. Her leagues and stuff would go. It's so hot in here. What do I have the heat on? Let's see. 72. That's not too bad. So she, I hope I wasn't like playing my book or something. No, I wasn't. So she would like, you know, then I would like hang out with my friends. If it was like a nice day or nobody else had anything to do. It wouldn't be like every day that we would hang out and play, but like most days, you know, we had like a basketball game going, or a basketball game. I can't remember ever once playing basketball in our neighborhood. That's so funny. A baseball game going, or we played hockey a lot. Like we were a big hockey neighborhood, and so we would like play like hockey, but just with like our shoes and the, you know, the sticks and stuff. And then we had these hockey pucks that had like balls on the end of them, like rollers on the end, so they would roll on like the driveway. And the people across the street, the one that was my mom's really good friends, they had actual hockey nets. So, because they were like, he was really big into hockey. Another kid had a hockey nets, but mostly we played baseball in our neighborhood. And so there was always a bunch of us, and we would just like, and then, you know, like a lot of it was just like walking around and like sitting in each other's like driveways, or, you know, like whatever, and like, oh, should we go get some money and go get, you know, ice cream? Or it was a lot of that, you know. And let's walk down here. You know, we would follow we had a creek behind all of our houses, because like our houses were all in the woods. And so it was like a lot of times we would like follow the creek. We would catch crawdads. You turn over rocks and you catch crawdads. We did that a lot. And like tadpoles, we would make like pools for tadpoles and stuff. We were like, there was clay in the water. It was like this gray clay that we would like pull up. My dad had built a tree house, so like that was kind of like our place that we would like start, and then we had like, you know, go over like our creek behind our house. Like the tree house was here and the creek ran like over here. And so it was like a cool place. We always played like forts and stuff like that. We had so much fun in our neighborhood growing up. It really was a fun like neighborhood experience growing up. I mean, there was some stuff that happened that wasn't great, but it was fun by and large. One time, this is actually when I was really young. Like this was because I was one of the youngest kids on the street at this point. Our neighbors to the right that ended up being like, she became one of my best friends. They hadn't moved in yet. And there was like a lot of older kids on the street. And they, I don't remember this. My dad remembers the story better than I do, but of course he doesn't know everything about it. But somehow we decided that we were gonna like drink and smoke cigarettes. Now at the time, my dad had recently left, so I was somewhere between like 5 and 7. I don't really remember, but, and then, you know, like this is interesting, just like, you know, back in the day, like I was 5 to 7 years old, and like, and there were kids that were my age, if not younger. I probably was 7, you know, and there were kids my age, if not younger, that were playing, and we were outside at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, you know, and parents were not super, I mean, it was safe, you know, or at least we thought it was. So we had decided that we were gonna drink and smoke, and I stole like 2 beers from my mom and like 2 cigarettes or something like that. It was really minimal, but anyway, we got caught, and they all And even though it wasn't my idea, like, I think somebody said, like, well, your mom drinks, doesn't she? Or she won't miss it with something like that, miss a beer. Because my mom loved to sit on the front porch. Like, we had this, like, these 3 brick steps that went down, like, big brick steps. And she would sit out there with her friends, and she would drink beer. And, like, because the cul-de-sac was right in front of our house. So she would sit out there, and she would, like, watch us, like, play with her friend. My mom was kind of known as being a little wild in our neighborhood. You know, and I look back on it, and I think, you know, my dad left. My mom was, you know, at that time, probably 35 or 36, which is, you know, pretty young, good-looking woman. You know, she's in this really nice house in this neighborhood, and I think, like, nobody was getting divorced at that time, and my mom was having, like, girlfriends come over in the evening, and they were putting the speaker in the window and playing, you know, Fleetwood Mac and Thelma Houston at full blast. The whole neighbor could hear it, and she just didn't care at that point, you know? And, I mean, she did and she didn't. She kind of wavered between, like, if you're gonna drive on the street, we have to turn our radio down. This is so weird. Okay, my mom forever drove a Nissan Maxima. I don't know why I just remember this. But, like, I like, in my head as I was saying that, I, like, reached over to turn, like, the knob down. I could feel the knob in my hand. It was, like, this knob that had all these lines in it. It's so weird. I could almost kind of smell the car, too. Because my mom smoked in this car forever. Oh my God, this old silver Nissan Maxima that one day just died. And she, like, it died, like, right up here at this Walmart. And she just, like, had it pushed it, and she was, like, free with her number underneath it. Like, you could just come and get it, and she'd give it to you for free if you wanted it. And then my Uncle Dave sold her his Saturn, and she loved her Saturn forever. My mom was not, she always wanted a Mercedes convertible, but other than that, like, she wasn't somebody that, like, cared much about cars. Now, my stepmother has always driven nice cars, and when my stepmom started driving nice cars, my mom was like, I should have gotten a better car. Like, I should, like, cause, like, the last car she got before, like, when my dad left, like, he was like, buy whatever you want to buy. And so she got this Nissan, did I say Xterra? That's what I used to drive. She got a Nissan Maxima. And then my dad and my stepmom, like, before I think they were even married, she was driving, like a Porsche, like 922, I think. Is that like 922 or 924? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna look it up. But it was the one that was like that, you know? And I remember my mom was like, I should have had your dad buy me a Mercedes. She was pissed. And, but other than that, she never cared. Like, she cared only about the quality of the car and how far it would get her. She didn't really care, you know, like, if she had the best car in the entire world. That was, like, never anything that my mom ever complained about. Except for, like, at the very beginning. But I remember this time, and I don't know how old I was. I'd have to ask my dad. He'd probably remember better than me. But, like, we all got in trouble. And, you know, I know that people, like, see me in videos today. I'm like, I was not that as a kid. I was very, very shy. I was very quiet. And I didn't like attention. And so they all collectively told their parents that it was my fault, that it was my idea, and that I had done it. And, you know, I look back at this now, and there were kids, like, if there were, like, let's say 7 or 8 of us, I'm thinking of this one other person that was on our street. He was a year younger than me, and his parents believed everything that came out of his mouth. His parents are still friends with my dad today. And so he would have been the one younger. We would have been the 2 youngest. But then other than that, if we were like 6 and 7 or 7 and 8, the other ones were like 12 and like 13 and 14, right? So why everybody believed that it was my story and, like, it was my idea in retrospect, like, that's so strange to me, like, looking back, right? And, like, I remember them all standing behind, like, the back door of our garage, like, in the dark, like, waiting for me to, like, creep inside and steal this stuff. I mean, I remember that. I can still, like, in my head see, like, them, like, going, like, go in, and I went in, and then I came back out, and they're like, did she know? And I'm like, no. And, but, you know, all those parents believed that. Every one of those parents believed that it was me. And I remember my mom called my dad And I can kind of remember her saying, like, to him on the phone, like, I can't handle this by myself. You need to come over here. And he came over, and I remember them sitting with me on the stairs. Like, because when you would walk into our house, we had, like, this entryway that was, like, this nice entryway with, like, slate floors and stuff. And then, like, the staircase was right up to the right. And I remember we were sitting on the staircase, and my dad said to me, he was like, I know this isn't, I don't remember exactly how he said it, but basically, like, I know this isn't fair, but, you know, like, when you do something, there has to be, like, a punishment to match what you did, and just because everybody else is getting, and I will never forget this, okay? He said, referencing this person that was, like, the year younger than me, that was because, like, his parents were like, oh, good for you for telling the truth and all this stuff. And he said, you know, he goes, he'll probably wake up tomorrow and get some kind of present. I think my dad even said, like, new hockey sticks or something, for telling the truth when he lied. And he said, and you're getting punished for telling the truth. And he said, and I know that that seems really unfair to you. He said, but down the road, he said, you know, you telling the truth and being honest will be what's more important to you in the long run. I remember my dad, like, having this whole conversation with me. And I don't remember what my punishment was or anything like that. But I do remember I had to go to each of those, like, parents, and I had to apologize to them, like, with my dad. Like, my dad walked me to each of the houses, and we had to go up to the parents. And I can remember each of the parents were like, I hope you think next time you do this again. Like, they completely believed all their kids. That, like, their kids had nothing to do with it, and the 7-year-old convinced them all that we should do this. I don't even know that at the time that even occurred to me, like, how bizarre that was. And I'm just like, even now, like, I'm thinking back on it. Like, I've talked about this before on here. Like, I'm thinking, like, that is so weird that all those parents were just like, yeah, let it just fall. Like, we can, like, think our kids are perfect so they can all fall. Like, that's kind of stuff that, like, really screws, you know, with people's minds. Like, one of my friends today was talking about, she and I were talking, and she was talking to me about, like, being held back. And, like, nobody ever talking to her about what was going to happen before she got to school. And it was just like, one day she was held back. And, like, what a big deal that was for her. You know, and, like, in 20 years, like, or in 40 years, nobody's really ever said anything to her about that. You know, and she's like, it really was a big deal. And she's like, I never even really thought about it until now. Like, it's weird to me. I don't know. But that happened in our neighborhood. So, like, that was, like, one good thing, or one bad thing that didn't happen. The other thing that happened, this is when I was a couple years older, because this is when I was good friends with my neighbor to the right and the girl across the street. And the three of us were, we were little rebel rousers in the neighborhood. This was my terry cloth shorts period with my lip gloss and popping my gum, okay? And we thought we could not be stopped. So... there was no, like, every lot on our street had been purchased. And I lived on a street where, like, every house was individually built by a different designer. So when you drive under our street, I actually did a vlog on here showing the street that I grew up on. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. Because somebody stops me and says, sir, like, why are you recording our street? And it's my old neighbor. And the house I'm about to tell you about is her house. So... and then I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's me, Peter Monn. And she's like, oh my God. So anyway, we have this little conversation, but that happens, like, off the camera. But anyway, so there was only one lot that had been purchased and had never been built on. And it was the one directly to our left. And it was kind of at, like, I would say, like, if you were looking at the cul-de-sac, it was at, like, 5 o'clock on the cul-de-sac, if that makes sense. It was, like, on the way out of the cul-de-sac. So... they built this house, and this house took, like, 2 years to build, right? Well, at the very end, they, like, you know, put in all the windows that you crank out and the front door, but there was, like, no, like, there was locks and stuff, but there was no, like, alarms and all this kind of stuff. Well, my two good Judys and I, we found out that we could climb in. There was some window downstairs that we could, like, pull up. It was, like, on the first floor. And we figured out that we could, like, get in there. Well, somehow, we had, like, had, like, mud clot fights and everything, like, this whole summer. And it just kind of, like, escalated and escalated and escalated. It was, like, the three of us against, like, the boys on the street. And it kind of, like, I mean, it was all, like, all in fun and games, right? But it kind of, like, escalated to this point where it was, like, it was towards the end of the summer, and it was, like, the house was done, right? And these people were moving in. But like the grass hadn't been laid yet, and like the driveway was gravel. That was it. That's all they had to do, and then these people were moving in. Like the carpet and everything. So anyway, I remember my friend and I, we were like behind the house, and we somehow like figured out how to get in this house. We didn't even think it was like any big deal. It's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, we didn't even think it was like any big deal. And so we like went into this house, and it had like started raining a little bit. Well, like, you know when you're a kid and you don't really think about stuff, right? It had like started raining. Well, there were no lights on in the house, okay? Until like we couldn't figure out how to like turn the lights on. We somehow like, we started turning on like lights on one part of the house and it worked. But anyway, oh my God. My mother was livid. So, at this point, and my mom was really, really good friends with the woman across the street, and her daughter and I were like the oldest of the three of the one. There were boys that were older that were involved in this too, but like my mother like completely like came over and was like, listen, they're not gonna blame this on you this time. Because my mom always felt like everything that happened, you know, if like the kids were involved, like, oh, Peter got blamed because, and then she'd say, oh, well, it was because, you know, I'm a single mother and I don't know what I'm doing. She always felt that way, which is why she called my dad, and then my dad would be over there that quick. It was like, that was always the case. So anyway, we get in this house, and like the girl across the street's like, we need to go get everybody else, and we need to like play fort in here or something. We were gonna do something, I don't know, but it had started raining. So like we went back out the window. I don't know why we didn't think to go through the door, but we went back out the window. We went and got them, and we're like, you know, whatever. And they're like, okay, let us in through the doors, whatever. So we like go back in. We're like trampling all through the house. Then we figured out at some point like how to turn the lights on. I don't know, like some of the lights had like switches and some of them didn't or something. I can't remember, but anyway. All I know is that some of the lights went on and some of them didn't. And then we let them in through the front door, and then we're like playing house in this house and whatever. I don't remember if it was like one day or if it was more than a day or whatever. All I know was that it rained, and we had trampled mud all through this brand new house. And it was a huge ordeal. It was like, and it wasn't just like one of us or two of us. It was like the whole neighborhood kids. Like we had all been through these people's house. Like we had like traipsed mud all through their house. The whole, like every neighborhood kid. Like we had been in this house. We've been like standing in the kitchen just thinking it was like our place, you know, all this kind of stuff. And we, at the time, we were probably, the three of us, like three girls, we were probably 9, 10, and 11, and like we were like the younger ones, okay? I mean, I'm sure they were probably, the more adult kids were doing stuff they weren't supposed to be doing. And I do remember though, that the way, oh, so something happened with like the kid that was younger than me, the one that I was talking about previously. His mom like saw us somehow like going into the house or something, and that's how like it started. Like we got into trouble, but the police showed up and everything, and I remember we were like in that house and like the police lights went on and stuff. It was so scary. I was like, oh my God. I don't remember what happened with all of that though. I do remember like they like had to like come and like they put like new carpet in again. It was like a big deal. It's like a really big deal. It's now raining and it's hot in here, and I don't want to open the window because it'll just rain right in on me. I also remember like in the summers, you know, when it would rain like this, my mom and I would, because typically I don't remember playing a whole lot with my neighbor kid friends, like when it would rain. Like we played outside a lot every other day, but like when it rained, we wouldn't. But I can remember my mom and I playing games, cards a lot. We played cards a lot, like Old Maid and Go Fish. And my mom taught me from a real young age, like how to play rummy and all this kind of stuff. We used to play cards a lot. And my mom loved cards, but we would play other games as well. And then I can remember she would make like, you know, tomato soup and tuna fish salad sandwiches or grilled cheese sandwiches. And I would eat it out like in the porch because we had like this glassed-in porch area. But I can just remember whole days in the summer just reading books. Isn't that so funny? I remember like, I talked about this on here at one point. I read those, oh shoot. And somebody bought both of them for me and sent them to, maybe, no, I think one of them I found, and the other one, I thought that was somebody standing up there. I think one of them I bought, and somebody else sent me the other one. Kids Inc. or Kids something. It was about this girl that starts like, it's not the Babysitter's Club, okay? So like every time I say this, people are like, it's the Babysitter's Club. It has the word kids in it. And like I can see the book. The book is yellow. Kids Club or something like that. It's about this girl that starts like this babysitting thing. I have it in the basement, of course. I was just thinking, you guys, I have to tell you something so funny. So Melissa and Jason are getting a new cat, a rescue cat. And you know Melissa is obsessed with Halloween. Do you know what she's gonna name it? She posted pictures today. And she told us like weeks ago that she was doing this. She's been so excited. Mikey Meowser. Michael Myers, but Michael Meowsing. What is it? Michael, hold on a second. I have to see. Is that not so fantastic? I love that. Melissa. Okay. Spookfest. Okay, Melissa just posted this. The real life Conjuring house will be live streamed 24/7 for 1 week. That's scary. Okay, here it is. And she's got, the little kitty is in the, oh my God, it's so sweet. And then she's got next to it the Michael Myers house. And she says, preparing for Mikey Meowser's arrival this Friday. Look how big he is compared to his siblings. Aww. He's so sweet. You guys want to see Melissa's cat? Okay, hold on. Aww. Isn't he so sweet? Isn't that such a hilarious name? So what is this thing, this live stream of this? Let's go in here and see this. This was on people.com. Spookfest, the real life Conjuring house will be live streamed 24 hours. The Conjuring is based on the true story of a family who lived in the iconic house in the 1970s. Calling all horror fans, the real life house that inspired 2013's The Conjuring will be live streamed for a full week in all its spooky glory. From May 9th through May 16th, fans can tune in into a 24/7 interactive live stream of the iconic Rhode Island house, now inhabited by the Heinzen family. The event is hosted by the Dark Zone Network, an online community of filmmakers and paranormal experts. According to the Dark Zone, the haunted house will be rigged with multiple cameras so the audience will have a completely immersive experience. Throughout the week, this is like the last, or the second to the last episode of Halloween, when they do the, you know, what's the guy's name? Is it Coolio? I can't remember who it is, but he does the reality show. See, this is where I would say no, because this is, you know, something bad's gonna happen. Throughout the week, the Heinzen family will conduct paranormal investigations, seances, Ouija board sessions. You shouldn't be doing any of that. That's all, that's negative energy. You shouldn't be doing all that. And invite some of the most well-known and respected luminaries in the paranormal community to pop in remotely and share their most bone-chilling experiences from the house. Okay. The event will begin on May 8th with a free preview before asking viewers for a fee, $4.99 for 24 hours, $19.99 for the whole week, which will be donated to coronavirus-related charities. I'm doing this. When the Heinzens first purchased the home in 2019, they told a local news outlet that they fell in love with it, but definitely noticed some paranormal activity. Footsteps, knocks, we've had lights flashing in rooms, and when I say lights flashing in rooms, it's rooms that don't have lights in there to begin with, Corey Heinzen told KETK. Related, Lorraine Warren, inspiration for The Conjuring and the Amityville horror franchise, dies at 92. Okay, later Corey told Sun Journal that though they can feel spirits in the home, he doesn't think they're malicious. I don't have a feeling of anything evil, but it's very busy, he said. You can tell there's a lot of things going on in the house. The Conjuring, though fictionalized, is based on the true story of the Heinzen's predecessors, the Perron family. The Perrons lived in the home in the 1970s, and after working with paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, eventually had to move out due to the hauntings. The 2013 film starred Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as Lorraine and Ed, who inspected the home. Actors Ron Livingston, Lily Taylor, Joey King, and Mackenzie Foy also starred as the Perron family. That sounds good though, doesn't it? So, Where does it say you can go to this? It doesn't say. Why would it do this whole thing and then not link the link where you can go watch it? That is so dumb. The House Lives teaser. Oh, it's on YouTube. That's crazy. The world is on lockdown, it says. Should we see what it says? Okay. Trapped at home. I'm watching the this so you don't have to. Now imagine, it says, being trapped here. This is the real Conjuring house. Okay. This family lives here. Okay. It's just them. And the ghosts. Oh, kind of a cool house, though. Oh my god, it does look just like the house in the movie. Oh my god! I would not live in this house. This house is... Oh my god, they're down in the basement. Oh no, my god! Oh my god, no! Okay, so they've got the cameras on. It hurts, someone says. Help us. Well, I can't hear it, so I don't know if they're really saying that. Oh my god, there were lights that flashed. No, did I just see lights really flash? Oh! Get out of here! I'm watching this. Oh my god, you guys, this looks so good. The battery's gonna die. Hold on a second. Join us and see what happens. A live streaming event only at thedarkzonetv.com. Coming soon. Okay, hold on, I have to screenshot that. I am watching that. Coming soon. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Well, thank you, Melissa, for that little bit of intel. Well, that was worth looking up, Mikey Meowser, isn't it? Oh, wait, I had a notification on my Facebook. Okay, somebody saved items to the collection favorites. I don't even know what that means. I'll be right back. The camera is so hot. Hot tamales. So, I'm gonna, get off here in just a second because I didn't realize that I had actually gone this long. Let me put my... See how hot the battery is. It is so hot. It is hot tamales. Alright, but I'm gonna get off here so that I can listen to my audiobook for a little bit and that I can go in there and get to bed. It's 4:18 right now. Get to bed a little bit earlier than I do most nights. Now it just seems like it's pointless because it's late, but I'm gonna miss my husband. I can't believe I'm not gonna get to see him all day, every day. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I won't like be thankful for having the whole house to myself for like a day or two, but I'll miss him being here like regularly, you know? That being said, you know, I hope down the road again we are not put on some lockdown and stuff because things get worse. I hope that's not the case. You know, I hope this is things taking a turn for the better and turning around and all of that. But I'm still gonna miss him. Oh well. We've always got the evenings and the weekend stuff, so. Alright, I'm gonna get off here now. It has like gotten so hot in here, and it is like my heat is on 68. The card says it's 73 outside. Why is it that hot? Oh, I didn't look up the weather. It's not 73 outside, it's cool outside tonight. 55. And rain. The high of Tuesday is 50, so 100% chance of rain. Rain early, then remaining cloudy with showers in the afternoon. high near 50. Showers early, then cloudy overnight. So, and then Wednesday 60, and then Thursday 67, and then back to 52. It's just like it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. But I will tell you that the week starting the 15th of May, 72, 74, 76, 77, 78. Let's just hope it stays all the way through. So, anyway, I'm gonna get off here now. Oh my God, my neighbor just got up, so it's time to get off. Anyway, it's time to get off the camera. I bid you good night. So I always say that I'm gonna do the outro and make it really quick. And I looked at it yesterday and it was like 4.5 minutes long. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, please put a blue heart in the comment section below and put a bunch of colored emojis down there for all the essential workers. Thank you guys. And if you made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure that you're still subscribed. I really appreciate it. I hope you are having an amazing, what is tomorrow? Tuesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun. Do something exciting. Start something new today. Start a new TV show or a book, and do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, next week, a year from now, a month from now, 60 years from now, or 69 years from now. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. I love you. You are important. You matter. You're a good person. Good things are coming your way. And today is going to be an amazing day. When you go to bed at night, say, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day long. And if I'm not, I can start my day over whenever I want. And when you get up in the morning, say, today, first say, I love you. You are a valuable human being, and you are important, and you matter, and you are a good person, and good things are coming your way, and good opportunities are coming your way. And then say, and today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day long. And if I'm not, I can start my day over whenever I want. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Just say, hey, just wanted to say hi and see how you're doing, and I hope that you're doing well. And also, practice random acts of kindness. But what? Don't tell anyone. We just do it to be good people and to put good and compassion out there in the world. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. That was under 2 minutes, I think. 2.5 minutes, so I have reduced it. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.